Welcome to the Fixture by WICC. As always, I'm your host, Meg Linehan. I'm a national staff writer at The Athletic covering the NWSL and the US Women's National Team. Now, I am back from Texas. I'll catch you up on the first ever game at Q2 Stadium in Austin as the US Women's National Team wrapped up the summer series, and we still are awaiting the Olympic roster. The NWSL returned with a full weekend of matches, and I'm going to catch you up on a very busy transfer market. Let's get it going. All right, let's talk US Women's National Team. Now, by the time this episode drops, the roster might have actually come out. That is the joy of waiting for this roster. We have no idea how long it will actually take to be named. We just know it's happening before the send-off series with the two upcoming matches against Mexico. But let's rewind a bit to last week with the final match for this team before that roster selection process actually gets firmed up by head coach Vlatko Andonovski and his technical staff. Now, first, as someone who got to be in the building, the brand new Q2 Stadium in Austin is definitely an amazing stadium for a game. Perfect surface, hitting triple digits for the decibel level at the stadium, a tifo dedicated to Crystal Dunn that also alluded to the fact that this was the first ever match at Q2, a stadium now christened by Queens. The goals were christened by the US too. Kristen Press, fittingly enough, scored that first ever goal in the building. Carly Lloyd got under the ball and managed to get just enough of a touch to send it on to Press, who one-timed it to the far post for the 1-0 lead over Nigeria. Lynn Williams made it 2 with, again, some help from Press on the assist. Williams had been subbed on late in the match but made an impact with the minutes that she got as she rounded the goalkeeper with a touch and calmly sodded the ball home from inside the box. Now, I still think it's tough, maybe even impossible, to know how much these games are going to count as Andonovski makes his final decisions. But for players looking for one of those final spots, like Midge Purce, like Lynn Williams, they're going to benefit from the goals that they scored in the summer series for sure. Adriana Franch got the only look in a game for a goalkeeper not named Alyssa Nair, so it might be a little easier to read into that decision, though again, NWSL form is a factor here that cannot be ruled out, especially for a position that does not get a lot of rotation on the national team. Basically, the waiting game continues. All right, we got some great goals in the NWSL following the international break, and Gotham FC finally nearly put an end to Orlando's strong start to the 2021 season before Orlando found a late equalizer to stay undefeated. First, on Saturday, the Courage and OL Reign kicked off their return from the international break. The Reign had some new names on that starting 11 with Jennifer Marzan and Sarah Buhadi and Alana Cook all taking the field, but Jessica McDonald's header provided a bit of a rough welcome as the Courage went up 1-0.
Into the box from McDonald, Buhadi is out, and there's the goal. First one, McDonald.
You see the back line of OL Reign dropping. Buhadi comes fishing off her line, and Jess McDonald is the recipient of that.
Sam Muse came back from international duty to make it 2-0, and with Lynn Williams getting credit with the assist on that goal, that moved her into the #1 all-time spot on the NWSL assist list.
Pushing it, Lynn Williams, Muse with the run, nearest goal! 2-0 North Carolina.
Now, it wasn't quite enough to complete the comeback, but OL Reign's Jess Fishlock scored an inch-perfect chip. We had some truly great goals this weekend. This was absolutely one of them.
Fishlock, can they get one? She'll try to chip Murphy, who came out. What a goal by Fishlock! Save that one for the highlight show.
Chicago and Washington battled to a 1-1 draw on Saturday as well, with the game opening up late. Trinity Rodman finished off a goal for the Spirit right between Alyssa Nair's legs off an Andy Sullivan assist, but Morgan Gautreau equalized via a penalty kick after they were awarded one for a handball in the box.
Chance here for Rodman. Dangerous opportunity. Rodman goes through the legs and finds the net for the goal for the Washington Spirit. Trinity Rodman with her first goal of the regular season. Petra plays it to the left corner and finds the equalizer for Chicago.
On Sunday, Racing Louisville picked up a major win over the Dash. Ebony Salmon coming off the bench to make her NWSL debut and scoring within a minute of taking the field despite being absolutely surrounded by orange shirts. She got the touch around the defenders and then finished off the winner.
Stride for stride ahead here, Salmon. Salmon bounces through, Salmon now! Salmon scores! 1 minute into the NWSL! It's beyond her wildest imagination! 1-0 Louisville!
Michelle Betos came up huge for racing multiple times in goal to preserve the shutout at home. In Portland, Simone Charley made the difference for the Thorns against Kansas City as she beat KC goalkeeper Abby Smith to a ball in from Crystal Dunn and was rewarded with a wide open goal.
International firepower on display, trying to get it to Charley again. Smith came out, open goal, Portland scores!
One big ball over the top. Abby Smith well off her line, comes fishing for it, just doesn't make connection, and it allows Charley to get on the end of it, times it well. A good first touch to keep it going, set herself up, and then just an easy tap in.
Abby Smith did manage to keep Christine Sinclair off the score sheet though, stoning her on a penalty kick. And finally, Orlando hosted Gotham FC for the final match of the weekend, and it was Caprice Didasco who started the scoring for Gotham. The outside back got the ball from Ife Anumanu, back from international duty with Nigeria, of course. Now, was it a shot? Was it a cross? Didn't really matter in the end because she found the back of the net past Pride goalkeeper Ashlyn Harris.
Overlapping run from Didasco. Didasco crossing, oh, scored! Caprice Didasco sends that into the corner. It's 1-0 Gotham.
But some of that Strauss energy worked for Orlando late in the second half as they looked for the equalizer, with Courtney Peterson getting an epic one of her own after Marta broke through the midfield and played provider.
Rolls outside, ball across, oh, it's a goal! It's happened again! Orlando pulls level! In that same look of shocked jubilation.
We've got midweek action this week and then another packed weekend with 5 games all on Saturday. So get your snacks ready. There have been some fairly big moves this transfer window, but I want to start us off looking at PSG, who just dethroned Lyon in the French league after 14 seasons of domination, but since then, it's basically like the band has broken up. Goalkeeper Christiane Endler posted an official statement to her Instagram explaining her decision to not renew her contract with Paris, and while she wants to find a new project, there's one sentence in this statement that basically has everyone essentially doing the eyeballs emoji. She said, "I want to bet on a club that treats women's football as an equal." Now, with Endler heading to Lyon and signed through 2024, well, that's definitely got some weight to it. Endler isn't the only one departing either. Formiga is planning to play in Brazil, and the NWSL has definitely benefited as well. Alana Cook signed with the Reign on a long-term deal and has already made her NWSL debut. Nadia Nadim, of course, signing with Racing Louisville FC. Now, Lyon is making some moves of their own. They've also added Arsenal midfielder Danielle Van de Donk on a deal through 2023. Now, Arsenal is nearing a deal with Nikita Paris, who is on her way out from Lyon, plus they've signed Japanese international Mana Iwabuchi away from Aston Villa. Finally, got one major name incoming from France to England. You probably know it, Khadija Bunny Shaw, who departed Bordeaux and has signed a deal with Manchester City for 3 years after leading scoring in France. Now, it's always been a joy to watch Shaw in CONCACAF competition and international play, but it will be great to get more regular viewing opportunities at the club level via the WSL, and she's absolutely capable of tearing up the league. Thanks for joining me here on the Fixture. Pre-sale for this summer's Women's ICC tournament is underway right now. General sale begins June 24th. Don't miss out on the return of the Women's International Champions Cup in August at Providence Park. You can visit internationalchampionscup.com and get your tickets. As always, make sure you don't miss a single thing by following at ICC Women on Twitter and Instagram for all the latest. You can like International Champions Cup on Facebook. You can always find me at It's Meg Linehan. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.